everyone. We are Girls Guts Glory. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Wizards of the Coast, who is sponsoring this season. We love you. Thank you for having us a part of your family. So we're all streaming from our homes. So I hope you all enjoy. Also, thank you to Johannes Plenio at coolfreepicks.com for some of our awesome background picks. And I'm going to pass it along to Rachel Seeley, our new DM.
Hello, welcome in to this season of Girls Guts Glory. I'm going to do a really fast recap for you guys for episode 1. In future episodes, I'm going to ask my girls. I hope you're all taking really good notes. If you do a good job of doing a recap, you'll get advantage on one roll for the episode. So take good notes. So we started off, and our party essentially found themselves in the underworld. And they ended up in a building called the Bureau. It's like a massive old office building with many elevators and doors and floors. And they met a creature there named Deppen Brigsby, who was a fenling, so a ferret creature, the ferret cousin of a tabaxi. And Deppen gave them a couple of things, mostly information. He was essentially their caseworker. He gave them a scrying glass so that they could communicate while they are gone. And they also met a man named Pace Jovan, who is a bit of a higher up in the Bureau. And Pace Jovan is going to look into why their names appeared in this special little book. Because apparently only heroes of note show up there, and they haven't shown up there in that book for a while now. But Sir Jovan asked a favor of you before he decided to do anything about your names being in this book, or even seeing if you could return to the land of the living. He asked for you to go into the Plains of Penitence and see if you could find out what's happening, essentially, with the god of death and judgment, Seert. So you have to find your way through this dangerous plain to a temple, essentially to get word from a god or one of their acolytes, because Seert hasn't been heard from in a while, and that is becoming somewhat of a dangerous situation. So you set off pretty quickly, deciding you better do this as soon as possible. And at night, you slept in the forest, off up the path, and Valara had a visitor, a beautiful ethereal woman who gave her something called mugwort, a bright green herb. All the colors are dulled here. You can still see color. It's not as vibrant as life. This mugwort, this woman told Valara, who gave her name as Neve, told Valara, this mugwort will help you return to the land of the living. But in return for getting this mugwort, she asked Valara to plant a root at the temple they were going to, the Temple of Seert. Everyone had wonderful dreams. Some people remembered just a little bit more. Valara, you remembered Vermeer's face. But Daisy dreamed of ice and cold. And you wake up in the morning, everything is just as normal as it was the day before, as far as normal is in the underworld. The sky is gray. There's still that high, unseen sun that's giving you light that never left. What would you like to do? Who wakes up first?
I can wake up first.
No morning birds? Okay.
Yes. I am sprawled all over a very grayish moss-covered rock, and I stretch and I yawn, thinking wonderful, pleasant, very pleasant dreams. And I double check, and I see that I indeed do have the bright, vivid green mugwort herb that Neve gave to me, as I also do have the thick root, which I am supposed to plant outside the Temple of Seert, I believe. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to tuck these away in my saddlebags. I'm going to try to find a stream to get some refreshment.
Okay. You had been walking through this massive forest, and you remember the city of Judgment that you had been in before, which is where the Bureau was, where the Riverside Inn is bisected by a thick raging river. And you had followed the river into the Plains of Penitence. And if you'd like, you can roll a nature check to try and find that river.
Okay, that is a 17.
With a 17. You follow your nose, and you go back the way that you came just a short while. You don't go too far from the party, and through the trees on the opposite side of the path from where you guys had set down camp, go for a couple of minutes, and you start to hear the roaring water. You get to the bank, and here it's almost a sharp drop down straight into the water. And when you look down, it is this coursing black river. And you can feel the cold seeping off of it, but you can't really see the water. There's no reflection on the surface.
Do I have any thirst or hunger?
No, not here.
Okay. Nice black cold river. Okay. To stretch out my centaur legs, I gallop back to the camp to get a good run in. And I see, is everyone still sleeping? Hello, good morning, wake up.
I will say that I do have written down that I named my frog Sebastian, and I believe that was a morning conversation. So I think Alyssum and I have been awake and talking about frogs.
And you've decided to name that tiny frog that came with you into death Sebastian.
Yeah, it was the name he picked for himself. Good morning.
Good morning, Valara.
Good morning. Okay, so I have good news. Everybody needs to gather around and be awake for this.
All right, well, I'm waking up. What's happening?
Come on, come on.
I can't remember if I was awake or not, so you know I'm awake
Trot
now.
around in a circle, kicking up a little gray dust.
Artemis has started kind of trying to get me awake. She's like licking my face as a mechanical, what is it? As a steel defender would. It's Artemis. It's my hippopotamus. Artemis,
All right.
I'm awake. All right.
Right, Valara.
All right, so, and I reach into my saddle bag and I pull out the bright green herb of mugwort, which stands out against all of this black and white and gray.
Yes.
Is that mugwort?
It is indeed. And so you guys will never believe this. I can barely believe it myself, but here I have the proof. This most beautiful lady that I have ever seen in my whole dreams, she came to me last night and she gave me this mugwort and said that it would help me return to the land of the living. She also gave me a big thick root that I'm supposed to plant outside the temple of Seert. I'm keeping it for safekeeping for later. For now, I wonder, would anyone like to join me and do what is maybe perhaps a psychedelic adventure with this here mugwort herb, just to
make a nature check for me. Actually, Leaf, you can do a nature check as well if you're looking at this.
Yeah, I will. Will I?
I will as well.
I don't
because
it's a 5.
Sure, I'll let you do it. Yeah.
Mine's a 9.
Daisy knows quite a bit.
A 5 and a 9?
Yeah.
Right? 14.
Okay.
I would like
A
to
5
roll-
and a 9.
Can I roll a nature check for the root to investigate the root and see what?
Sure, go ahead.
I mean, you know, should we all do a nature check?
Sure.
Why not?
Why not? I was only going to give it to Leaf because Leaf was a
Oh,
druid, but you know what?
You know,
Pretty well.
I shouldn't have done one. You know, it looks familiar with the greenery. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm compelled to know it, but I don't.
Allie, you said a 9?
13.
13. Okay.
I was
Okay. So, everyone who is looking at the mugwort, everyone but Daisy is like, you know what? Yeah, this is definitely something I can put in my pipe and smoke. Daisy, you remember something very important about this. Mugwort is actually from where you are from. The plane of existence that you're from, it is extinct. It's an ancient herb. It was normally used in protection magics. And if you smoke it, it will be a little poisonous and very bitter.
Valara, I don't think that's a good idea. As I recall, mugwort, it's if you smoke it, it can be poisonous, and it's also used for many protection spells. So I think it's probably best that we hold on to it in case we need it at any point, and probably best not to poison yourselves. Yes?
Now, Alyssum, while you were looking at the root, with a 13, you don't get too much. It looks like a root, but you pay a little bit more attention to it, and you reach out and you put a finger on it just to see what kind of plant is this. It's a thick, fat, white root with some brown stripes on it where it's started to grow a little bit, and it's got these tiny little sprouts, but the bottom of it is split into these two sort of legs that have tiny little wisps of root coming off of it. It's soft to the touch. It feels almost like a supple leather, but you've never seen anything like this before.
So interesting. I'll hand it back to Valara.
Very well, I guess I will just keep these for safekeepings. I tuck them into my saddlebags. All right, so I don't know about you. Normally I'm very hungry in the mornings. I'm not hungry. So shall we just get on our way? Is anyone else hungry? This is not about me. I'm just saying. I'm assuming if I'm not hungry, perhaps I'm not hungry.
I mean, I have all these good berries if anyone gets hungry.
That's
I'm not feeling hungry either.
Yeah, strangely, I don't.
I mean, I usually have like, bangers and mash, I feel like, but, not in the mood. Can I get on your back? You mind if I'm in a little short, I feel like little people on the top,
My back?
Do you know that that's...
You the horse, darling. That horse, centaur and all.
You may, but do you realize that is, how would you say it? How would you explain it? Centaurist.
Centaur, I just thought, we're friends. You might want to offer a little man a ride. In a very, very thin way.
I kneel down and allow Rufus to climb aboard.
Thanks, mate. All right. This is comfy.
Am I?
Yeah, very. Beautiful hair, darling. Beautiful hair. Very shiny.
Would you mind giving me the braid, actually? I could really use it out of my face.
I only had a son. I didn't have a daughter, so I don't know how to braid, but I'll weave something together. Maybe I'm using my magic.
I don't know. Do you have a spell for braiding?
I don't think I do. But, like Tinker Tools, maybe I'll put a little zip tie.
Kim, what were you saying?
I was going to tell Artemis, perhaps I would ride her. Did you all know that hippopotamus actually comes from the ancient Greek for water horse? They're called water horses. So I'm going to ride Artemis, and you'll ride Valara, and we'll both be riding our horses.
Could everyone except for Daisy make a really nice history check for me?
A history check?
Yeah.
So your mic was off.
Everyone
a history check.
19.
13.
14.
Even with your 19, Daisy says these words of places like Africa and Greek, and you have no idea where that is.
Yeah.
Very
I don't
unfamiliar. You're almost wondering if Daisy's all there?
It's from, I have magical books, you see. They tell me all sorts of things. No?
Even
Well-
in here.
I believe you.
I mean, I haven't ventured much out of the forest, so a lot of things sound foreign to me.
I just have a question. Do these hippopotamus that you're talking about have the centaur version? Are there hippopotami people?
Not that I'm aware of, but that would be fascinating, wouldn't it?
Certainly would be fascinating. I'd be very curious to meet their kind. You must show me a library next time.
Yes.
Daisy, make a fast history check for me, actually.
9.
You remember in these strange books that you have that tell you about the Greeks, there was just at a footnote on this entry on hippopotami, and there was something about. Oh yes, you remember the name, the GIF.
I'm sorry?
The GIF, GIFF, the GIF. You don't remember exactly what it was, but maybe related to Valara's question somehow. That name just pops up into your head.
You know, it reminds me of something. The GIF. I don't quite recall what it is, but something is percolating up in my brain regarding centaur hippopotami.
Very interesting. I would love to see pictures if you could possibly find them in one of these magical books you're talking about, if we ever, come across.
Absolutely. I love to share knowledge.
I gather that.
Well, I feel like there's a lot you could teach me. Because I don't know what that is, and I don't know what Africa is, and I don't know what a GIF is.
Okay.
I'm afraid his death has kind of rottened my memory. I know I feel like I've read a lot of books. Knowledge is very important to me, but I'm having a hard time piecing together any information. So, but I trust that you know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, thank you. Shall we be on our way then?
Please, let's get out of here. I've had too much talking for the morning. I'm not a morning person, really.
Quick question. Can I ride someone's something? Because you have these really long legs and I don't.
Yeah. How about this? How about you jump on Artemis? And I'll walk beside.
Alright. Thank you.
Artemis, this is Leaf. I feel like you two will be best of friends. So,
I'm gonna try to pet it. Just gonna
Artemis
reach my hand
shakes her little tail and smiles at you with her one eye.
One eye?
Oh yeah, what happened to her other eye?
She lost it right before we came here.
And Daisy, you can't quite remember what happened. You just know she had another eye. It's this tiny little gem. Something happened.
Well, that's sad. Hope she didn't lose it, like, maybe she can find it again, Maybe it's not
also...
maybe it's not lost forever, maybe it's just playing hide and seek type,
It's
Well,
possible.
Daisy, you know this also. That gem is only cosmetic. She has these two little lenses behind the gems that function as her eyes, and they're both working fine. She's just missing the gem from one of them.
I'm also going to take Calliope out of my pocket, let her stretch her wings, put her on my shoulder as we start the journey.
All right. So everyone that is up on a back is on a back. Then you clean up your camp, you put all of your things away, and you head off. You start down the trail through the forest again. These trees are massive pine trees. They're still alive, but they have only the faintest hint of color to them. And there's a low-hanging fog that rolls in as the day drags on a little bit. And Rufus, you're wearing the little sundial. So you can you can watch the time going by as you head down this path. And it's more than half a day before you get to the temple. And going down the path, you had seen a couple of what looked like almost sentry posts. They're just like one room, tiny little stone things off to the side of the road. Basically just 3 walls and a roof for someone to stand in, just in case there was rain, to watch the road. You see several of those, but they're mostly in ruins at this point. And the trees part ahead of you, and you see a building made of stone. It's a small building, but beautiful and simple in its design. It has a curved roof, and at the front it meets at a point. It's all soft lines. And even though it looks like it's fallen into disrepair, it looks like a beloved building. There's no moss or vines growing on it. It looks like it's been well maintained. And there's a small flight of stone steps leading up to a giant arched wooden door with studs in it. And sitting on the top step at the door is the figure of a young child.
I'd like to do a religion check.
I'd say no matter what you roll, you're not going to get much. It looks like a temple, and that's about it. No one knows an awful lot about Seert. This is the first time any of you have heard of Seert that you remember.
Just a moment. I call out to the young child and I say, "Hello? Hi there."
The child stands up and looks out at you. It's a young orc boy, and he smiles and he waves a little bit, but he doesn't leave the steps.
"Hello there. My name is Alyssum, and these are my friends. I was wondering if there might be your guardian or your mother or father around, someone we could speak to."
You're still really far away. I can't hear you.
I walk forward, slowly and carefully approaching.
Okay.
Yes, I was wondering if you have a guardian, a parent, a father, a mother, or someone who looks after you, someone we could talk to.
You get closer to the steps. It's just a young boy. He has a little gap in between his 2 front teeth, and sometimes you can tell as you get closer he has this idle tick where he whistles through them. He's wearing just a simple, clean white shirt and little brown breeches and these little shoes. They're perfectly pristine. Looks like he, unlike a lot of children that you have seen, has not been playing in the mud. Has been keeping himself essentially right where he is, and he goes, "Well, yeah. Well, they're inside. I'm just sitting here. I greet people when they come to the temple."
Oh, well, fantastic. What's your name?
"Malcolm."
Hi, Malcolm. I'm Alyssum, and these are my friends.
You're really pretty.
Oh, thank you. This is my friend Rufus.
Hello.
Hello, little boy.
Okay.
And Valara.
Hello, it's so lovely to meet you.
You're really cool. I've never seen someone like you before. You have so many feet.
I do. And I
That's really
pop them together with a little dance.
Oh, that's really cool.
And this little one is Leaf.
Hi.
Leaf, you can tell he's actually not much younger than you.
Ah.
You're pretty close in age.
Do you want to see my frog?
Yeah!
He's gonna pull out his frog.
Oh my god! That's a really cool frog.
Thanks. His name's Sebastian.
Sebastian. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like your frog.
Thanks.
And this hippopotamus is named Artemis. And
Yes, this is Artemis.
her companion, is it a him or her?
Artemis is a girl.
Girl.
Artemis and this is Calliope. Yes, I built them, but
Oh.
they are my friends.
Oh, you must be really good at building things.
Thank you.
That's really. Can I pet her?
Oh, absolutely. Artemis, go say hello.
Hello, Mrs. Artemis. And he goes to pet her nose, just like a little boop boop boop.
There you
That's
go.
really cool.
And this is Calliope, my hummingbird. I'm Daisy, by the way.
Oh, that's a pretty flower. Are you here to go in the temple too?
Malcolm, is this the Temple of Seert? Yes, perhaps we should make some sort of offerings. I am not a temple worshipper, but I'm happy to make an offering. Do you have to make any sort of special offering to be welcome here?
No.
Wonderful. And I plunk my rear end down and slide Rufus off.
Whoa. All right. Well, that's a way to get down.
Malcolm,
Yeah.
is there do you know anything about Seert? What is going on? Or have you heard anything strange, different at all?
No.
You
You don't know anything about Seert?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Kinda.
Huh.
All right, he's helpful.
Yeah.
Shall we go inside?
Oh, okay. So you want to go help? Okay, take my hand.
Oh, all right. One of us or all of us?
All of you.
Sure.
Wait, all in one hand, or can we hold each other's hands?
You can hold each other. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Leaf's gonna sort of slide off of Artemis.
All right. As you link hands, who's holding hands with Malcolm?
I'll hold his hands.
And I'm holding Alyssam's hand.
Perfect. We're in this beautiful little train of hand holding. Alyssum, as you look down at Malcolm, his sweet little face looks up at you expectantly, and this countenance comes over him, and suddenly he looks wise beyond his years.
Oh.
And you find yourself almost falling into his eyes, and you all feel exceptionally drowsy.
Oh no.
Your eyes flutter, and when you open them again, you're someplace different. Of course. This is a very strange and impermanent plane that you're in. And when you open your eyes, you find yourself in a giant playroom. And there are massive wooden blocks that are about a foot taller than you. And when you look down, in fact, all of your bodies feel different, and they've changed. You are all now a different version of a child's toy.
Oh no. Wait, is Artemis and Calliope with me? Are they toys too?
No, they're not there.
I'm
Never
gonna
get
look
to
in
come
my
anywhere.
pocket. Is Sebastian in here?
No, actually, Sebastian's not in there. And when you look down, you see fur. And you see these little sewn together paws.
Ah! I don't think I like this.
And when you all look to see the direction that Leaf's voice was coming from, you instead see a little teddy bear turn and look at you.
Oh, you're so
Oh,
cute.
What do I
Am
see?
I? What am I?
Yeah, what do I see when I look back at them?
In fact, for Valara, you see a small toy horse made of wood.
Valara, you're a horse.
I'm still a horse.
But
Yes,
but
I'm
like
still
a
a horse.
whole, like, just a horse. You don't have your Valara part or the human part. You're a wood horse.
I flare my wooden nostrils.
I mean, you feel the same, and yet it's also strange.
Or what
Yes.
do I feel about this? Where is the little orc kid? Malcolm.
You don't see Malcolm.
What do I see when I look down?
You look down and you see these chubby little hands made of porcelain.
Oh no. What do I look like? Leaf? Bear?
Leaf, when you turn and look, you see this baby doll with these massive eyes, the kind that, like, when you tilt them a certain way, close, and they have these huge eyelashes.
You're a big baby.
Oh no. Oh no, I can't keep my eyes open when I lay back.
Don't lean back.
Could someone tell me what I look like? It should be funny.
Rufus is a small toy soldier, a little knight. Essentially just a suit of armor with a little sword, like a toothpick.
I feel very stiff. Anyone got any explanations for that?
I feel very well.
You look like a knight.
Knight in
This is
shining
like a-
armor. I always knew I had it in me. It is very hard to bend it all. I thought that was just me old age, but nope. Do I still have my axe, as they say, my guitar?
Not really. You have your little toothpick sword.
Toothpick? This is not. I mean, listen. I never had a little toothpick. You know what I mean? All right, I'll shut up now.
Where's Alyssum?
You turn to look at Alyssum, and Alyssum is a small figurine with a base.
Is it Alyssum or Alyssum?
Alyssum.
Alyssum.
And Alyssum has this curling scaled tail. She's turned into a beautiful mermaid.
Oh, all right.
Oh, I quite like it. I don't mind at all.
You've got your human half. Very interesting.
Can you walk, Alyssum?
I try to move and I just flop over.
Yeah, I mean, it feels strange because you can, at the same time, feel yourself moving with your own 2 feet, but you can also feel the little stand that your mermaid figurine is on. And
Like
you can move fine.
Like I have.
Yeah, when you guys look at Alyssum, she sort of like wobbles along. But Alyssum, you feel fine. Like you're just walking normally.
Oh. How strange.
Like a fish out of water.
You know, I do feel like I know what this creature is called. I believe this is a
I've heard of a
mermaid.
Mermaid.
Also known as Tritons.
Ah. Mm-hmm. Yes. They live in the sea.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't really care to. I mean, I love being a knight in shining armor, right? But like, you know, this isn't gonna be great for my whole life. Can't really move. They're creaky. Might get rusty.
Is this
So-
something that Seert does? It's just like, oh, is that child
Might have
a
been
little like, magical?
Trickery's afoot, I say. Let me see. I feel like I can do some sort of check on this. Hold on 1 second.
What exactly are you doing a check on?
Well, you know, I feel like there was magic afoot. And, you know, is this a time when I could do maybe a...
Like an Arcana check, if you're trying to figure out what kind of spell has been cast?
Let's do an Arcana check.
Go ahead and do an Arcana check, yeah.
All right. I have arcane something or other. Learning all this is really fun for me. 11, and then hold on, plus 3, 14, and but I feel like I have no. I feel like gnome cunning, no. Artificer's law, no. Oh, twice a proficiency bonus to history checks related, nope, to magical items, chemical objects and technology devices, no. Lucky, I'm lucky.
If you roll a 1, you could re-roll.
And no. Oh, you only use lucky when you roll a 1.
You can use it when you want, I think.
You know what?
But...
I feel like I rolled a 14. It's not awful.
Okay. You rolled your 14. It's some kind of spell, and you focus on feeling your body. And with a 14, as you focus, you feel a sense of vertigo, and you almost feel as if you are somehow occupying 2 spaces at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not uncomfortable, but...
Now, let me ask you as a player, is this a time when someone could use a reaction spell?
No.
Got it.
Nothing has happened for you to react to.
That's only like in a battle situation.
Yeah.
Got it. Figured I should ask since I've never used one before.
Yeah, better to ask. Why
People, we're learning too.
And these are all pretty much new classes for you guys, so
yeah,
ask away.
So I feel like everyone, listen up. I feel like this is not permanent. I don't know how to get out, but I know there's magic afoot, and we're in 2 different planes. I feel we're in one place and another place at the same time. How do we get out? Oh no, somebody help.
I'm going to see if I can discover anything.
Got it.
What should I roll, Rachel?
What kind? Are you just looking around?
Yes, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on with why we look this way and how we've come to be here, and perhaps I know what's going on.
Okay, that's an awful lot. Roll an investigation check, and actually, I'm only going to let you do one. So you get to pick. Either you're going to do an investigation check and look around you for something, or you're going to roll an Arcana check and try and figure out what's going on with your bodies.
Should have done investigation. I should have.
What is it?
I rolled a 1. Neither way, no matter what I choose, I don't think I'm getting much information.
Not a single clue. Your body feels so clunky and weird. You can like move. You have articulated joints. You all do, but it feels so bizarre. Like you're in an inflatable sumo suit. It's just strange. And in fact,
my friends,
you can't figure out what's going on because you get startled by music that starts playing. It sounds like a child's music box starts going off, and it's this lively little tune, and it's out somewhere. And in fact, when you're looking around, you notice you are sort of in a fort made of these colorful blocks, and color has started to come back to you. It's bright and cheerful colors, varying rainbow. But all you see are these big blocks, all about a foot bigger than you are, that make up a fort or an enclosure that you're in, and there is a doorway ahead of you.
Do we have a sense of... Oh, sorry.
Do we still have the scrying thing?
You go to look in your pocket, and you... Who had the scrying glass?
I think I do.
in part of your one, I'll say, yeah, you went to go and check your pockets and see where's Calliope, where's Artemis. You don't find either of them. You do hit something hard in your pocket, and you look into it, and it's the scrying glass, but it's that little silver compact. When you try and open it, you can't. It's like a little solid metal accessory.
Rubbish.
Do we have any sense of scale? Like, I know you're saying the blocks are a foot taller than us, but is there anything else that can tell us how tall we even are?
You're inside an enclosure with blocks. You can go out the door.
Can you know, if I have benign transportation, 30 feet, I can transport myself. Could I go to the top of that and see what's around?
Well, it's a roof. There's
it's a
something
roof.
laying on top
So
of it.
So it's all enclosed.
It's
not
an
just-
enclosure, yeah.
All right. Well, only way out through the door, I say.
I trot up to the door and I knock it with my hoof.
It's just an opening.
Oh.
Doorway.
So
Okay.
you trot up to the doorway, and you all see this wooden horse hobbling along. At the doorway, you look out, and you essentially see you are in a child's room, but
Wait.
everything is much, much larger.
Are we? So we are
Miniature.
toys. We're
Oh
like,
no.
it's happening.
Yeah.
And that's what we are. Are we? Wait. Okay. If are we possessing toys right now?
Have we been turned to toys?
I feel like this sort of boy, right, is like, oh look, I can make more toys for myself. And so he's changed us, right? He's changed us, and
Yeah.
now we're with him, and we got to get out. So we have to find that boy, or figure out how to get this spell off, because we're stuck.
Let me try something. Daisy, do you mind if I cast a spell on you?
All right, go ahead.
All right. Let us know if anything happens, and I'm going to cast Dispel Magic at third level at Daisy.
Okay, you do so. You feel your spell leaving your hands. Everything is normal. You can do magic. And you feel it hits your target. And nothing happens. Daisy, you do feel it. You feel this like cold wash over you. But nothing happens. You look down, you still have your baby hands.
Still baby hands. Artemis, Calliope, can you hear me? Artemis, Calliope, anyone?
Either this isn't magic, or it's too powerful for me.
It's magic. I mean, I did I checked. It was magic. Don't know what.
What do I see when I look out the doorway?
You see that you are, thank you for asking, you are on top of a wood surface. And make a perception check for me.
Well, this is all right.
18. When you trot out carefully and you look around and then you look down, just judging from what you see in the room, you see a bed off in the right corner. There's a big window letting in gorgeous sunlight, and you see the leaves of a giant tree just softly flowing in a breeze outside the window. And you hear birdsong as well as this music box from somewhere. You look around, you see a little desk, and you can judge, based on what you know to be in a kid's room, that you're on top of some kind of dresser.
Right.
Is it possible that we're in the land of the living again?
Perhaps, but as toys, it's very interesting. I would like to see where this music is coming from.
All right. Make another perception check for me.
10.
10. You hear it down. But that's about all you can get.
I have some rope. If we anchored it on something and slid down, we could maybe be down there and find out what's happening with the music. Or we could all three, scream for that boy. What was his name?
Malcolm.
I feel like we should scream for Malcolm. If I had my guitar, I'd just play really loudly, but I feel like we need to find him, find out what he's done to us.
Why not? Let's try it.
Are there any other toys around?
Make another either perception or investigation check.
I'm going to make one as well.
Yeah, go for it.
And also, do we have equipment with us? Like, do I have my saddlebag still?
Oh, yeah, do I not have a rope?
No.
Great. Love it when that happens.
Perception was 19.
Okay. With a 19, you're looking around, and this little teddy bear crawls out on all fours, and you look over the edge of this dresser that you're on, and you see splayed out across the floor a scene of toys. And it looks like this boy was reenacting some kind of battle, because there are toy soldiers strewn everywhere, all sorts of different types of toys, bears and dolls, and little tiny cats and all sorts of things that look like they were in the middle of a massive battle. And you see off to your right, almost underneath the bed, a chessboard, black and white squares. And you see something going on over there. You see a cluster of toys that are all moving. Something is happening on the chessboard.
All right. Do I see Malcolm anywhere in the room?
Nope.
All right. I'm gonna relay that to the group. There's something going on the chessboard over there. I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna shout down at all the toys. Be like, hello? Can any of you hear me?
So you are too far away to be heard by the ones over by the bed. And what you see below you is essentially just a massacre. There's just toys laying about.
Are they like ripped open or anything? Or
No,
are they just,
no.
They're just laying around?
They're laying on their sides or their backs or their fronts
Okay.
or whatever.
All right. Well,
No carnage.
how many feet away is this chessboard happening, this action?
How many what?
Feet.
Oh god. Spatial awareness, I don't know. It's quite a ways away.
Could
I mean, like several hundred feet.
Oh, all right. Well, could I at least transport myself down? Benign transportation.
30 feet?
Yeah. Is how many feet down are we up? Are we?
More than 30 feet. You're about double that.
And I have no rope, no flying abilities. Who has an idea? Because I don't.
I have an idea.
Go on.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and have it open the drawers down the dresser like stairs. I could maybe do that.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. There are some limitations on Mage Hand, like what exactly you can move with it. But you know what? Fuck it. Fuck the rules. They're guidelines anyways. Yeah, absolutely. Your little Mage Hand comes out. What does your Mage Hand look like? Tell me what it looks like. Like, is it a specific color? Is it sparkly? What is it?
It looks a lot like the one in the Addams Family. Da-da-da-da.
I love it. Da-na-na-na. Perfect. So it looks like a severed hand that just crawls around.
In hand.
It goes and opens these drawers in this ladder sequence for you to all then go down. So you have essentially a staircase. You can climb over. They're all full. Oddly enough, Malcolm has been very careful about folding his clothes, so they are chock up to the top. You can run right along them. And you can easily make it down now. Yeah.
That's a good idea, Valara. Thank you.
I'm following you.
As you all start to hop down, you hear music. You can tell that the music box, now that you're getting closer to the ground, is over by the chessboard, where this scene is happening, and you can also hear some voices. And you get down to the bottom, and through this sea of toys, on the far side is this chessboard and this group of people. And you see in the center of this group of people, one single figure that looks like a ballerina that's slowly turning around.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to stay in the shadows somewhere, like creep under the bed or something. Describe what our point of view looks like now. What's around us? How far are the chess people? What's at the bottom when we reach? Because I'm imagining I went down the side of the.
There are no. If you're going down the drawers, then you would be going down the front of it.
Right. But what I mean is, like, I'm not like in the center. I'd imagine I would have been on a corner by the drawer.
Okay, sure. If you are off by a corner of it, you're still essentially where everyone else is. You are in a sea of toys that are laying down. Far off to your right is this chessboard where this scene is happening, and you can climb underneath the dresser if you'd like.
Yeah, I think I'll just pull over under the dresser until everyone's down.
Sure. So you kind of like wheedle your way under there at an angle, inching your way, and you're underneath the dresser, and everyone else comes down in front of you.
Ahoy!
Yeah.
Ahoy, toys! Hello. Are you
yelling at the ones off to the side?
I'm yelling at the ones all kind of like laying down and just
okay.
all the toys that are around. Can any of you hear me?
Yeah.
So you go over to one toy soldier. He's a knight. He's got a little cone metal armor helmet, and he has a hand-painted face, but it's all very clearly been hand-painted because it's kind of off-center and askew a little bit. And he's laying on his side, just stiff as a board, and his head slowly turns and looks at you, and he's like, "What?
What are you doing?
We're playing dead."
Why?
Because we. And he looks over at another soldier who looks at him and does a little like, "Listen, we did the battle, and we died. Like, who are you supposed to be?"
Well, clearly I'm a doll. But
well, who are you supposed to like take over for? Like, what role are you playing?
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
What role are you taking over? Like, who are you playing?
Well, I'm a doll, so I don't know. We've just been turned in here. How long have you been here? Did you meet Malcolm the child, and did he turn you into a toy?
Wait, what? Is this a prank? Is this a joke? This is a joke. I knew they were gonna try and do it. You know, my birthday was last week, and they forgot. They said they forgot, but this is part of it, isn't it? No, I'm not gonna fall for your tricks. And he goes back to just looking off to the side.
Yeah, all right. That didn't work very well, did it?
No.
Feel like these toys might be daft. Are there any toys that are actually standing up or active or doing anything?
There's the scene happening off to your right.
I'm going to this scene. I'm going in. Daisy, you coming with?
All right. Why not?
I have armor on. Feel like that's a win. Okay. So, we walk up and, stealthily, I mean, you're not stealthily, but look, just, casual, looking around, laying out the scene. We walk up to the group, so we're in the back of the group, I'm guessing.
Okay, yeah.
And can I roll to see what we hear, or are you just?
No, I'm just gonna tell you. I'll tell you when you need to roll. Don't worry.
Right.
So you get up behind this group. No one really pays attention to you coming up because they're in the middle of an argument. They're discussing with each other. And through the crowd, people are shifting and speaking, and they're talking about how it's unfair and how we all have a role, and you have to take on your role and you have to take it seriously because it's part of the play, and the play is important. And you see this one soldier with little green painted eyes, silver skin, just like you, standing next to an open music box. And he's looking up at the ballerina, and she's looking down at him as she slowly rotates. And you can tell there's some point of tension around these two in the center.
You know, all right, let me ask you this. The cantrip of True Strike, is that only to be used in battle, or can I do it or point at one of these characters to see what's going on?
Read True Strike for me, because I don't think it tells you as much as you think it does.
Oh, does it not? Well, yes, I've never used it before. You extend your hand and point a finger at a target in range. Your magic grants you a brief insight into the target's defenses. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack roll, if should we need it, against the target, provided that this spell hasn't ended.
I mean, you can cast it on someone you know that they will know that you cast a spell on them.
It doesn't behoove us at the moment.
It's not really, unless you plan on getting in a fight. It's not.
I know
really...
we're not. It might be good to know beforehand, but it's good. All right.
You can if you'd like.
No,
I'm not gonna stop you.
I don't want to trigger anything. All right, so I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna tap the soldier on the, clang, clang, clang.
Which soldier? The one in the
one
center?
In the middle. Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna just...
maybe that's a little aggressive. I'm gonna pick someone next to me.
I mean, you can do what you want.
Anybody next to me?
Yeah. You're in the middle of a crowd of people. There's lots of
right.
soldiers. There's some baby dolls. There's some.
I'm gonna use my 2 fingers, and I'm just gonna say, hello, how you doing? I'm Remus, and I'm a new soldier on the chess board, and I'm just wondering if what's going on with these two. What's happening here?
Okay. So this soldier turns and looks at you, and it looks like there's about 5 different models of soldier here. This one has the same pointy helmet, but he has like a curly mustache and a really pointy beard that comes out a little bit. He turns and looks at you and he goes, "Oh, you haven't been here lately, have you? Have you been? Are you supposed to be in the battle? What's going on?"
I'm a new recruit. I'm new to the battlefield, if you will.
Okay.
I've been in the reserves, so they just brought me up.
So you're newly purchased, is what you're saying?
Yeah, newly purchased.
All right. Well, you came in at kind of a bad time, to be honest. So we've just done the Battle of Combe Hill, and the kid is gone, but we're having some, infighting apparently. So that soldier in love with the music box lady, but you can't do that.
Love.
There was no romance at the Battle of Combe Hill, so.
Of course there wasn't.
Of course.
That battle well.
Do you know what role you're taking on?
Who assigns the roles here?
Well, so the kid didn't use you in this battle then?
No, when you speak of a kid, is he an orc child?
I don't know what that means.
Is he I feel like they're like not dragons, but they're like, how do you explain an orc and just me as a player? Well, what was his name? Let's just start there. What was the child's name?
Well, we don't know.
Don't know his name.
No.
He's not your owner.
Well, I mean, kind of. What kind of toy are you?
Well, where did you come from?
A store, just like everyone else.
Oh, just like everyone else. And I look at Daisy and I say, just like everyone else.
Just like all of us, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Daisy, would you happen to have any better, questions for this lovely new friend of ours?
How do we get out of here?
Good one.
How do we leave?
Why would you want to leave?
We don't want to be here. It's a very long story, but are there any windows or doors or?
Well, there's a window right there, and there's a door right there, and he points at this massive, towering, mountainous front door to the bedroom.
And is it closed?
Yeah. Why would you want to leave? I mean, you were purchased.
I wasn't purchased. No one can purchase me.
All right, listen.
So how did you get here if you were not purchased?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. We're not toys. We're people. Well, we're not people because what is a person really? But we're all different. We're from another, let's say, another land. And a little boy came and he kind of.
Before you can go any further, he takes a step back, shouts, "Invading forces!" And all of these toy soldiers turn and look at you.
I immediately go like this. I put my hand up for a salute because I'm like, I messed up big time. And I go,
as you are saluting at this fleet of soldiers that turn and look at you, the ballerina is slowly turning and looks down at all of you with these worried eyes. We are going to take a 10-minute break.
Oh, yes, battle. I'm excited.
Well, I hope we don't get into a battle because there's like 15 of them.
We're back. Again, we're Girls Guts Glory. We are playing D&D for you all. Thanks for all hanging out during our break. I was thinking we should all go around and say who we are and what character we're playing really fast before we get back into it, since maybe people don't know what we're doing. So I am Kimberly Daugherty, and I am playing Daisy Gamwich, and she's a human artificer.
I'm Ali Gonino, and I'm playing Alyssum Todrias, and I am a female Eladrin sorcerer, or sorceress.
I'm Alice Gretchen, and I'm playing Valara Nailo, and I am a centaur bard.
I'm Kellen Coleman, and I am playing Rufus. What the hell is his last name? Rufus
Rickard.
Rickard. And I'm a rock gnome wizard.
And I'm Erica Fermina. I am playing Leith. I'm a goblin druid.
All right, let's pick it back up, Rachel.
I'm Rachel Seeley. I'm your human DM. When we left off, you had stepped up to this group of silvery toy soldiers and sort of started talking to them to gather some information, and this man yelled out, "Invading force," and they all turned around and looked at you. So now you are all saluting at this fleet of about 17 silvery toy knights, and they are all looking at you.
Hello.
Sorry. We mean no harm. We were simply looking to find a way to leave. I think we're just lost, right?
Lost.
Yeah.
Found it, guys! And I trot up and I hold a receipt that I have cast with minor illusion. I found the store we are from!
Oh,
Wait, I'm sorry. You have been underneath the dresser this whole time.
Yes. And I saw everyone turn at them.
Okay.
Would I not have? I
You
was
would
thinking
have.
through the dresser so
wouldn't-
I could see.
So here's the thing. You're far enough away. Honestly, you wouldn't have heard what's going on, so you wouldn't have known to bring the receipt, but I'm gonna let you do it anyway. Cause fuck it, it's good for the story.
Okay.
So you trot up with this roll of paper that you have magicked into existence. What does it say on it? What store are you from?
From F.A.L. Schmaltz.
I love a good schmaltz.
Okay.
I have found where we are from, so perhaps anyone could help us get back there. We are so sorry. We don't know what is going on here. We are just trying to get back to our store. I think there's been an error, but here we are from F.A.L. Schmaltz. Anyone else?
All of these toys turn and look at each other like, what the fuck? And the toy soldier in front of you gives this eye to the teddy bear next to him, and he turns and looks at you and he goes, I've never heard of this place, but I don't know why you would want to go back. You've been purchased. This one was saying you weren't purchased. Have you been purchased or
No,
not?
I think here's the thing. I believe that we were purchased by a different owner, and the order somehow got mixed up, and we were brought here to the wrong. So the toys that went to the other person who we were supposed to go with, those toys should have been sent here. So it's just a mix-up, really.
Mhm.
Exactly.
If we could find our, your owner, that would help us. If you might know where to find him. She, he, they, them.
Well, the child has left the room. I mean, they don't know where. Actually, it's getting kind of late, and they all look. And in the window, you see setting sunlight now. It's getting dark.
The sun.
And all of the toys begin to shift on the battlefield, and they all stand up one by one. They're helping each other up and saying, "Oh, it was a good fight today. Yeah, you did great, man. When you did that lunge, that was perfect." And they all start to slowly disperse and go back to boxes and other places that they can rest for the night.
Right.
Well, it looks like we're here for the night, unless we want to try to escape out of some doorway or passageway. Do we see any doors that we might be able to?
So you do see the big door,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Is it an open door or a doorway?
No, it is a closed, big, giant, mountainous door.
Okay.
Lord.
So I don't have any of my things. I don't have my crossbow, my rope, my anything.
No, you're a baby doll in a little blue frilly dress.
And our spells, do they work?
I cast one. It
Mine
didn't seem
worked.
to do much. I could try something else. Oh, wait, but Valara cast a spell and now she's got that thing.
I've cast two
That-
spells. I've cast Mage Hand and Minor Illusion. So far, so good.
So,
And praying this very hushed.
yeah, so the spells work. It just depends on the spell and what you're trying to do. Because I tried to dispel magic and nothing happened.
At this point, the crowd in front of you has fully dispersed. That one toy soldier is still left looking at the ballerina, and slowly her lid closes and she disappears into the box. And you see, for the briefest moment, their hands reach out to each other,
Oh,
and then the box is closed. And he goes back to where all of the other soldiers disappeared under the bed, and it is quiet. And in fact, the sun falls a lot faster than it naturally would. It's now dark in the room. And it's so dark, you realize your eyes are closed. And when you open your eyes again, you find yourself in an enclosure. Bright, colorful blocks that are all about a foot taller than you are. The ceiling is closed off. There is an open doorway in the blocks. And you look to each other and you see you're all toys. And there's bright sunlight coming from somewhere outside this brightly colored block enclosure that you're in.
I'm having deja vu.
Wait,
I think we were put back in the place that we were put when we woke up yesterday.
Am I still a soldier
Yep, you are all still toys.
or a
ugh,
knight? No, I'm just
this is
asking.
exhausting.
Wait, so did we have a long rest then?
No.
So I could cast Mage Hand again and have it open the door.
As long as you have the spell slots for it, yeah.
The door's open now, she said.
The cantrip.
You are in, again, that same enclosed space that you were in before. It's all those brightly colored blocks along the walls. There's a flat roof over the top of you. You can't tell what it is. There's that open doorway right in front of you. It's just an opening in the block enclosure. It's like someone took these colored blocks and they made a fort out of it.
Oh, well then, yeah, I trot up and look out the enclosure again. Is it the same scene? Different scene?
It is the same exact scene as
It's
yesterday.
still on a dresser?
You are still on a dresser. There is bright morning sunlight coming in. You see a tree waving in the wind outside the window. You hear birds, and you see the carnage of a battle scene below you. All of these toys strewn about. And on the far side of the room, by the bed, almost underneath it, you see a chessboard. And on the chessboard, you see a group of people.
So nothing appears to have been changed. Perhaps we should just go out the window. Perhaps we should just try to break it, or I can try to jimmy it.
Can we reach the window from?
Well,
You can try. It's very large.
Well, here's the thing. We clearly have to do something different than we've done before, right? So my first thing, yours was to go out the window. Mine was, let's play a game of chess using ourselves as the characters. Maybe if we win the game, I don't know. Or save the ballerina. Those are my two thoughts. I have no idea.
I like where your head's at.
Maybe we talk to the ballerina. Maybe we get some answers from her.
Before we leave this enclosure, can I go press in all these blocks to see if there's a secret hatch?
Sure.
Everyone, go around the room. Start. Okay, I'm going to go on this side with Daisy. You'll go on that side and go meet in the middle, right? Everyone press. Press up and down. Press up and down.
All right. With all your little toy hands, you're all pushing on every single one of these blocks. They all just barely move. They're a little bit heavy for you. Nothing happens.
All right, well, we try that. Good one, guys.
I'm going to try to catapult with my spell catapult. One against the window, perhaps.
One what?
Block.
A block? Okay.
Is there a loose block that I can?
Not necessarily, but with your catapult spell, you would probably be able to shove one out of the way. Make a perception check for me.
All right. That's a natural 20.
Oh,
Nice. You know exactly which block to catapult so that the entire thing doesn't fall down on top of you. It's in the top corner on the right side. You could catapult that if you wanted.
I have a feeling this isn't going to do anything, but why not? I'm going to catapult it.
Perhaps I could create a diversion first that is big and loud. That way people's attention will be looking over there.
I will say that I feel like if we get out of the room, out of this fort, we're still in a land as these characters. I feel like we need to break this spell or whatever this is, teleport, get through. I feel like there's a mystery here.
Rufus, make a history check for me real fast.
Okay, thank you. I do well in history. Oh, wait, no, I don't do well in history. Damn it. I just fell on the ground. 16.
You remember something.
Oh, yes.
Seert is the god of death, but he's also the god of judgment.
Judgment. What does that mean? How is it helping me?
It's a thought that pops up, and for some reason it won't leave you. He's a god of judgment. How does he judge people?
All right.
He's a god of judgment.
Oh, we probably need to do something.
Well, I relay that information before Daisy speaks because she doesn't know it. Daisy, you know, I keep having this this idea, you know, that Seert, whatever the heck, you know, that person's name, God. You know, he's oh, that's more my voice. Yeah, there it is. He's more of a god of judgment and death. So I feel like we're being judged, or we have to prove worthy to get to them. So how would we prove worthy? I feel like it's in something with the chess.
Maybe we need to play the chess game.
Or the princess, or the ballerina.
Or we could help someone. You know,
Yeah, we have.
maybe Seert wants to see if we're good people or not.
That would make sense. I guess tossing a block at the window probably wouldn't be the best thing to do.
Unless we
very
good
much
judgment.
segments.
Well, let's say, what if we, okay, so we know that this wasn't smart of me to, you know, just out us as being foreign in this land. So why don't we maybe just tell them we're new toys and we want, and go talk to the ballerina in the night and say, is there anything we can do to help you?
Well, I don't know how far into the night, because I don't remember. I just remember it getting dark, and now we're here again.
What does it look like now? Is it daytime again, Rachel?
It is daytime. Yep, there's that bright sunshine coming in from the window. It's like morning sunshine.
Well, we got to the place where they believed us with the receipt. We remember what happens, right? What happened to us?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And then everyone was saying, oh, good job, good job. And then we woke up here again. So
let's go help the ballerina.
Let's try. Or play chess. It's been a long time since I played, but you know.
I think we just need to get some more information and ask a few more questions of the locals.
Have my mage hand starting to open the drawers again.
Key is in those two people. I feel like the key is in those two in the front, you know.
I will follow you, Rufus.
I'm following you.
Oh, you're following me?
Yeah, because you did the mage hand, you know, with the drawers.
Okay.
Yeah. Cloppity clop, I just, you know, I'm really stiff. So.
All right, you open up all the drawers. You're able to climb down through his clothes off the side of the drawer onto another. You get down to the floor, and once again you're greeted with this field of strewn out toys.
All right.
Bother them again. Let's make our way.
Sorry, what?
Arena. I said I don't know that we need to bother them again. I feel like we should talk to someone we haven't talked to.
Yeah, just look official, and you know, hello.
Wait, where are you guys headed?
To the ballerina and the soldier.
Okay. You head over to the chessboard, and once again, there's a crowd of people, different toys. Are you pushing your way into the crowd to get to the ballerina in the center, or?
Let's all, you know, say, excuse me, this is my, you know, might be wrong. And then maybe have a line of defense. Maybe everyone's in the front, but one person approach. Who's the least obviously different to this group?
Probably
you.
I look like
none of you necessarily. You see, there's baby dolls in this group. There's teddy bears.
Wow.
Valara.
Yes.
Maybe you could step forward and ask her.
The ballerina?
Secretly, maybe just, you know, whisper if she needs anything.
So Rachel, could you describe the scene for me a little bit in more detail, like what the crowd is?
Sure. You are on a chessboard. There is a ring, a crowd, and in the center of the crowd is again that soldier that's looking up at the ballerina that's in her box. She is in this beautiful open box that looks like it's hand painted like the night sky. It has some balloons going by, some stars, and she has this beautiful pink dress on. She is in a pirouette. She's standing on a little platform that is slowly rotating. So you have a ring of people, and these two that you want to talk to in the center.
Okay. There are no chess pieces and people aren't standing in chess piece spots. Okay.
No chess pieces, no.
Except
Okay.
on night, so it's kind of a chess piece, you know.
So, so I just try to walk up all the way up to her if I can.
Sure.
To her base.
So you excuse your way through the crowd. You go off through the other side of the crowd, and in the center, there's this box right in front of you. And in this box is the ballerina slowly rotating on her platform. And next to the box on your right is this toy soldier that's looking up at her lovingly. And he has one hand on the edge of the box. And they're not speaking, they're just looking at each other. Almost sad.
Is she twirling or is she static?
Slowly rotating.
Okay. I just wanted to say, I think your dance is very beautiful, and I love the music that is accompanying you. And I noticed that you seem to be a little bit sad. Is everything all right?
Her softly painted face has these two eyebrows that look like single strokes from a paintbrush. They are concerned. She looks down at you with her little porcelain blue eyes and says, "I'm sorry, do I know you?"
No, you do not. I am a new toy here.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you.
You'll find the child a very loving friend.
Oh, I'm sure. But why, if he's so loving, why are you so sad?
And she looks over at the soldier next to her, and he looks at you, and then looks back at her and shrugs, and she says, We are in love. And they will not let us be together because it is not part of the play.
I very much understand what this feels like. Who, may I ask, is the author of the play?
Well, there's no author. The play is history. The child decides at the beginning of the day what battle he would like to play, and we play out the battle. That's the play.
Understood.
Laura.
Are you saying this through the crowd of people that are talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just and I said. And
Laura, make a perception check.
I want to tell her something.
18.
Yeah, you hear this voice somehow through the crowd of people. Yeah.
Well, okay. Laura, ask if it's what battle, and ask if it's the battle of a Colm something. It's the same one. Colm. I forget what the last name was. Look, it sounded like Colm then, but it was like Colm something. Colm Hill.
I flick my tail in acknowledgement. My wooden tail. I turn to the soldier who is looking up at the beautiful ballerina. Excuse me, I have seen my fair share of warfare. Are you by any chance in the Battle of Colm Hill?
Yeah, that's the play.
Ah, and I nod my big horse head.
Can I approach the bench?
If you would like, are you gonna just come through the crowd?
I'm gonna just come. Excuse me, all right.
Tell me about this Battle of Colm Hill. What is supposed to happen?
Behind her, and I just say, "Hello, I'm a friend. You know, I'm in this new group. Yeah, tell us about the battle. How does it end?"
Well, you new ones are very strange, aren't you? Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense. You wouldn't know it because you're new toys. Colm Hill was a big fight that happened near where the kid lives, and I think that he's reading about it in school right now, which is why this is the play that he wants to play over and over. These two opposing fighters. There was a head person on the battlefield that was in love with a woman who was on the opposite side, and well, he ended up dying, and she ended up married to someone else.
That is so tragic.
Yeah,
that is
well,
beautiful.
At the end of the night, do you go back under the bed? to the toy. I'm talking to the soldier or the knight.
I mean, yeah. We all go back to our places.
Except for the ballerina, you go in the box, yeah?
Yeah, where else would she go? She can't leave.
One, have you ever tried? And two, what would happen if you got in the box with her and didn't get back under the bed?
Oh, that's not allowed. No.
Who says?
Well, because I have to go back. You know, there's a box where all of us sleep and we all have our little sections, and they would know if I wasn't there because there's a body that's not there, you know?
I pull Valara aside and I say, Valara, I'm just trying to find out, how we can be judged in a good way. If we save the girl, pull her out of the box, or if we get the lovers together, maybe, and have them end up together, maybe. Yeah, we've done a good deed. They're not playing chess. I don't know how to do it.
I hear you. I don't know what to do from here. I turn to the ballerina. Have you ever heard of the concept of free will?
I mean, yes. But with toys, we have a fate. We must do the play.
Perhaps I could persuade you to try to get off your music box. Just to be with the love of your life. I look at Rufus as like, am I doing it right? Is this the good
Am I doing it right? Yeah, okay. What kind of speech are you gonna make? Make your speech. And then make your roll after the speech.
I know what it is like to be in love with someone that you cannot have. I myself was a performer. When I was young, my parents ran a circus. They made me dance and entertain people and lure people to also join the circus. They were not good people. Long story short, I lured this boy and I did not know I would fall in love with him, but I did. His name was Demer. He was a beautiful centaur. I've never seen another one like him. Anyway, my father would not pay him his wages that he was trying to send back home to his family. He has little siblings that he needed to feed because their parents, or who knows where their parents are. And my father would not pay him. So I tried to help Demer get his wages from my father's desk. Again, long story short, discovered my parents are kidnapping and abducting and trafficking children from all different backgrounds. So I tried to steal the wages. I tried to steal all of the identification papers to give to everyone. My father caught me, and as punishment, my parents locked me up, never let me see Demer again, and I would give absolutely anything in this world to see him again. You have the love of your life right here. And if you do not at least try to have some free will to be with him, you let down love. And with that, I make my roll.
Make your roll with advantage.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that'll be 24.
With a 24. All right. Valara, you're making this deeply passionate speech looking up into this woman's eyes. And she, if porcelain could cry, a tear would be coming out of her eye as she listens to this story. And she turns and looks at this toy soldier that she's in love with. And she reaches out one of her small, dainty little hands and she puts it underneath the point of his sharp metal beard and leans down. And you hear ruckus happening behind you as people are watching this. And the crowd behind you starts to push forward, trying to do something to stop it, do whatever. And as their lips meet and they finally kiss, there's just a split second where you, Valara, and only you, see this image as if looking through a dirty glass, through a dirty lens. You see two people on a battlefield and they're standing on a hill together and there's smoke and sparks and the remnants of fire. It's a human man and a tiefling woman, and they are looking at each other with longing and love, and they embrace. And with a gust of wind that hits you all in the gut, you feel the wind get knocked out of you. You get yanked backwards, and there's this swirl of color and light and sound all happening all at once. And when it all stops, you're back at the steps of the temple. And the door in front of you is now open, just ajar.
All right, Valara, way to go, babe.
What happened over there?
I had to inspire love. It's what I do best. And before anything else can happen, I'm going to bury this root in the ground outside this temple.
Boy.
All right. You
I help her dig.
You
That's
both Okay. You both go off to the left side, and in the dirt, it's dry and caked, but it comes out very, very easily. You manage to get a little hole, and you plop that root down, and you cover it up with dirt. All right.
All right, well, nothing is happening.
I just pat down the top. Well, perhaps we need to go inside and maybe try to look for Seert if he's in there.
Yes, and do not touch the little one.
No.
No, nobody touch that little one.
Are Artemis and Calliope with me now?
Yes, they are.
All right, Artemis, Calliope, you stay with me. Come on, come along then.
I pat my guitar on my back, assuming it's there, strung up on my back. Good to see you, old friend.
I shove my hand in my pocket looking for Sebastian.
Sebastian is there.
Oh,
Everyone
good.
has exactly what they had before.
We passed judgment.
Is Malcolm around?
No, you don't see the kid anywhere.
Good.
That's
Let's
weird.
go inside.
We make our way up the steps and
All right.
push. I try to push open the door that's just a little bit open.
It's ajar. You can just walk inside. Yeah.
Go in.
So you push your way inside. Again, it's a small temple. It looks lovingly well manicured. This is a small room. It's circular. There are little alcoves all around that look like places of worship where you would set an idol or something. But instead of any kind of statues or reliquaries or anything, there's just candles everywhere. And in the center of the room is a podium, and a figure stands behind it. It's a young woman. She has olive skin, black hair that's done in this beautiful, elegant plait down her back. And her dark eyes turn to you all, and she smiles and says, "Welcome, welcome, come in. How may I be of service?"
Hello.
Quick question. Does everyone get turned into toys before they have to come in here, or is it just us?
You met Malcolm. That depends. You see, Seert does not allow most people into this temple because this is where he resides. So, of course, if you are going to get close to a god, you're going to have to prove yourself.
Is Malcolm Seert?
No. The child is just a child, but a beloved of Seert.
Is it possible to speak with Seert ourselves? Have we passed his test?
If you go through the final door, yes.
Oh, do tell, what is the final door?
The door behind. And she turns and looks behind her, and there is another one of those arched wooden doors with studs all along it.
I lean in to ask, does anyone have detect magic or the ability to see if there's any I don't know, anything dangerous?
I do, but I feel like it's probably going to be another test. It will just tell us that there is magic, and then that will be all we'll know.
I could, I have high investigation skills, so maybe, well, lady, darling woman, hello.
Yes.
May I ask you what your name is? How you come about these places?
Oh my, that is a very deep question.
Isn't it?
I do not have a name. Let's leave it at that.
Would you say a girl has no name?
Well, I am not a girl. I'm a woman.
Oh yeah, you are. But yeah, you are. May I ask you how one gets through the door? Can we walk,
You can.
or
If you'd like, you may just go through the door, or you can answer my puzzle, whatever you'd like.
Oh, I think the puzzle.
yeah?
What happens if we answer your puzzle? What does that do?
Well, nothing in particular. It just helps us understand what kind of person you are.
Puzzle. Let's look at all of that. Puzzle.
Daisy's very good at puzzles. I sort of gesture her forward.
I do love him.
Alright.
Yes, let's hear it then.
All right. I'm glad that you chose this. I like this puzzle. And she looks down at the podium that's in front of her, and there's a flat surface of sand, and she starts to move her hand over it back and forth and back and forth, and she starts to write things in a language that I don't think any of you speak. Daisy, what language do you speak?
I speak. Where are my languages?
I speak Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Giant.
Sylvan and Gnomish.
All right. Alyssa, looking over Daisy's shoulder as she's standing at the podium, you see various words in Celestial popping up, and they're all sorts of different words like star and heart and circle and path and fate. Fate shows up a couple of times, as well as judgment. The woman looks to you, Daisy, and she says, "Are you ready to begin?"
Am I what?
Daisy,
Oh.
Are you ready to begin?
Is it just me, or can we all do it together?
If you'd like.
Yes, everyone.
I need to plug in my old device here because apparently it went from 100 to 5% real quick. So,
boy. All right.
One sec.
Pause. Daisy.
I would prefer if everyone helps me with the puzzle. Many
Of
minds.
course. I will just need one finger to write your answer in the sand.
I'll do it.
She has good fingers.
All right. Truly, no one is outstanding without me, nor fortunate. I embrace all those whose hearts ask for me. He who goes without me goes about in the company of death, and he who bears me will remain lucky forever. But I stand lower than earth and higher than heaven.
Okay, so for the players who want to write this down, would you please repeat that slowly?
I will repeat it slowly, but I will also put this in our chat so that you guys can see it,
I just want to make
especially
sure that
because
I copy it correctly.
it's a strange one. All right, let me read it one more time. Truly, no one is outstanding without me, nor fortunate. I embrace all those whose hearts ask for me. He who goes without me goes about in the company of death, and he who bears me will remain lucky forever. But I stand lower than earth and higher than heaven.
Oh, no. I have no idea. Lower than earth, higher than heaven. Without me goes about in the company of death, bears me will remain lucky forever. This is a moment where I wish we had chat to tell us the answers.
Well, chat would probably just Google it. Don't Google it.
I was on mute. I feel like let's spitball some answers, right? Courage, my first answer, because no one is outstanding without courage or fortunate. I embrace all those hearts who asked for me. You asked for courage, you get it. He goes at me, goes about the company of death. Nope, could be air, because it, well, why do you have to ask? Do you have to ask for air? No, a soul, life.
Lower than earth and higher than heaven.
God, Seert. Maybe that's, truly no one is outstanding without me. Hit the God.
So is this is the riddle? This is the puzzle?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's breakfast.
Sticks her hands into these bell sleeves of her white tunic, and she just watches you with a smile.
What happens if we don't answer this?
Nothing. You can go through the door.
I wouldn't go without this answer. We might have to, but let's try. You know what I mean?
Nothing will happen to you, and no one will stop you from going through the door. But this helps us know what kind of people you are.
The answer we give shows what we believe in. So
Yes.
I say we say it's Seert. It sounds like, I don't know how to say the name of the god. No disrespect. I have problems with my tongue.
He who goes without me goes out in the company of death, and he who bears me will remain lucky forever.
He is the god of judgment. So if you take him in, are you always lucky? Less and lower than earth and higher than.
There was rainbow lights. Rainbows are lucky. Rainbows lower than earth, higher than heaven.
How's the rainbow lower than earth?
Well, it goes below the horizon. No one can ever see where it ends.
Oh. But you can be outstanding without a rainbow.
I'm not sure you can.
What about faith?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The god, and this god in particular, because gods all love themselves. Let's be honest.
I was thinking life. He who goes without me goes about in the company of death.
Yeah, lowering into the earth if they do burials.
But were you always lucky if you have life? No, I've been unlucky. I'm in the underworld.
But
Life didn't help me there, but maybe believing will. But also courage, but also air. But air's not, we're lucky with air.
The word that comes to me, another one is hope.
Hope is
Faith.
good.
Like
But
faith.
how do you stand lower than earth and higher than heaven? Hope?
I'm assuming at this point this is all metaphorical.
Yeah.
But if it's not,
Well, she said we could go through the door and nothing bad would happen if we don't solve the puzzle.
let's give it a best answer, and if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Perspective. But lower than earth and higher than heaven is the same thing.
What about light?
No light down below is there, lower than earth. I feel like it's faith.
Love? Love?
Love, maybe. Hold on.
Love. I mean, it would be on theme with the last puzzle.
True.
You all seem very concerned. Let me say this. There is not necessarily a right or wrong answer.
It's how
Again,
viewed.
this just tells us who you are.
Tells us who we are, so it's what we believe, and that's how they will see us. So Do we want to be seen as loving, as faithful to a god, as, you know, love and rainbows, pride?
Cannot go wrong with love.
It is Pride Month, I hear.
All right.
In foreign land.
Heartbeat dice.
Eh,
Love. Love. Should we go with love then?
I feel like it's
That
faith.
one.
I feel like it's faith, but you know, to have faith, you have to have love. So, but to have love, you don't have to have, well, belief in a god. I don't know. We're in a god's temple. I might be wrong, but either one. We don't know. Do we all have faith? If we don't, we can't say that. We don't all believe in God, so let's go with love.
Does
All
faith
right.
necessarily mean faith in a god? Can you not have faith in
Life itself.
other things?
You can have faith in love, and yeah, so faith kind of encompasses. You could have faith in love, in life, in God, in music.
What do you think? Who says faith and who says love?
Faith.
Love.
You can have faith
I
in
like
love.
love.
Damn it.
Listen.
Music. But
All right, I'm going with love.
All right.
great.
You stick your finger into the sand. It's nice and warm, and you write Love. She looks down and she smiles and she says, "It's always better to be loving than hateful." I applaud your answer. You may go through. Thank you for answering my riddle.
All right, shall we then?
Thank you, woman with no name.
Artemis, Calliope, shall we?
All right. You can go and open the door. Opens without a problem, and it leads into one final room. Everyone make a perception check for me.
Oh, good.
8.
14.
8.
That's a good
6.
number.
6.
Mm.
Sorry, what was that, Alyssa?
16.
16.
Sorry, that was my pain from my 2.
Okay. So you end up in one final circular room, and it's pretty dark in here. There's enough light to see, even if you don't have dark light vision. You can't tell where the light's coming from, but you all step into this circular room. It's not very big. In the center of this room is a small reflecting pool that's set into the ground, circular as well. And you step in. Alyssa, you are at the head of the group and you're stepping towards it. With your roll, you look into the pool first. And what you see is an image of a galaxy. Ribbons of purple and millions of dots of small white lights. And in the center, floating, is a figure. The figure has a white robe, 4 arms, has the skull of a horse, and each of these 4 arms are going off into different directions and plucking small lights out of the sky. They don't disappear, but they do duplicate. There's one in his hand. He puts it somewhere below. There's another one in his hand. He puts it somewhere above. There are several that get put off to the side, off to the other side. And as you are looking down into the pool, you realize it's a reflection.
Of him?
Yep. You look up. And when you look up, there's a moment where you almost feel like you leave your body. All of you look up to the ceiling, and there's no ceiling. It's just a night sky above you, massive and all-encompassing. And there are galaxies swirling in the distance, and this figure slowly rotating above you.
Hello.
Nothing happens.
I'm wondering if now would be a good time to take the mugwort.
What did Neve tell you to do with the mugwort?
She said, it'll help me to return to the land of the living, and it's from the plane for protection magics.
Make a history check. I want to see if there's something from that conversation that you remember.
13?
You can't quite remember what it was. There's something missing, though.
Do I remember the conversation? Had we had a conversation about her dream in episode 1?
Not in episode 1, no. Episode 1 ended with you all asleep.
So I can't tell her what I remember.
Nope. As you are standing there looking up, you feel a breeze. Cold. And Leaf, you notice it first. No one else had seen this, really, because it's so dark in this room. And you are faced with literal galaxies above your head. So it's not surprising. But you see what looks like a hole blown out in a wall on the far side of the room.
Just a hole?
A hole. But standing in the standing in the opening of that blown out hole is an old woman. She has a cane. She's wrapped in rough brown fabrics. Her white hair is cut very short on her head. You can't see too much more.
I'm gonna grab whoever's closest to me and like tug on their shirt.
Is it me?
Yeah, it'll be Daisy. I'll grab Daisy's shirt and tug on it, and then Leaf will just point to an opening where there's an old woman standing there.
An old woman. Hello? Hello?
From across the room, she nods as far as you can see, and you hear a voice, and it says, "Hello. Are you here to see Seert?"
We are, yes. Yes.
Oh, yes. Of course you are. People come from many different planes to see Seert.
Well, where is Seert, and how could we speak to him?
Where is Seert? You were looking up. Did you not see him?
Oh, I wasn't quite sure. I suspected that might be him, but I didn't know for sure. And what is your name?
No, child. Don't ask me that. That's so boring. Everyone asks a name. Do not ask who I am.
Oh, these women with their riddles.
What are you then?
You can call me Grandma if
All
you
right.
want.
Fair enough, Grammy. All right. How do I speak to Seert? Because I yelled to him earlier and he ignored me.
All you have to do is ask him to come down. In fact, I would like to speak to him as well.
You make me nervous, but all right. Seert, will you come down? We have some questions for you, please.
As you shout this up into the galaxy.
We've been sent here, Seert. What's his name? What's his name on Vice? No.
Pace Jovan has sent us.
Yeah.
So as you shout this up into the heavens, hey, come down. The figure stops and turns and looks down. This horse head turns and stares down at you, and they have one last point of light in their hand. Look at it and then send it off. and then slowly float down from the ceiling. And the light begins to fade just a little bit from that galaxy, as if someone's turned a dimmer on. And into the center of the pool comes this figure. And as this happens, you hear a noise behind the figure. One foot steps out from underneath the white cloth that Seert is wearing, and almost as if Seert hadn't noticed the woman behind him, looks to you and says, "Yes." But before you can answer, this ray of fire juts out behind Seert, smacks the god in the back, and you see these curling tendrils of fire right behind Seert, and he doesn't react. It's not, the god doesn't react as if he's being hurt, but he turns around to look at this woman, and before anything else happens, you all start to feel a rumble underneath your feet. And jutting from the dirt on either side of this pool are these giant white tree roots that come through, breaking walls and shoving things aside, and one smashes into the center of the pool. The woman steps around and she looks at you, Valara, and she says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been waiting so long for this." And one root smacks dead into Seert. Something falls from the white robe, a body. And the woman rushes in faster than she should be able to with her old age, ducks underneath the robe, and in a black cloud of smoke disappears. The temple is now in ruins.
Yeah.
Walls are broken down. There are massive, gnarly white tree roots, almost as large as your body, that have broken through. And there is now, in the middle of rubble and dust and chaos, a single body. There's a man laying off to the side of the pool. Dark skin, eyes closed. He looks like he's maybe in his 30s. Young, fit, and laying, for all the world, dead. Who knows? Unresponsive.
Listen, I knew that route was a bad idea. Maybe this is a good thing, but I have a feeling this temple's destructed. Hopefully it's a good thing, but that route we planned to just made a catastrophe.
I'm going to run to the man and see what his state is.
Yeah.
You run over. He's wearing very simple linen clothes. His body's still warm. Make a
he dead?
medicine check. We'll make a medicine check.
19.
With a 19, you expertly grasp his wrist for a pulse, and you feel one.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay. You cast Cure Wounds. This soft light emanating from your hands and seeping into his body. He's completely bald, like shaven down. And when he opens his eyes, these dark brown eyes turn and look at you, and he's weak. Terribly, terribly weak. And he tries to say something, and there's a look of pain and confusion on his face as he looks up at you, Daisy. And then he passes out again.
Oh, goodness. Alyssum, is there anything you can do for this man?
Yes, I can. Well, I can perform lesser restoration on him, which would end whatever disease or condition is afflicting him.
I don't quite know what is wrong with him. Only that he's obviously weak. I wonder if he's being afflicted by something or if he just needs more healing.
Does he seem magical? Or is he human? What is
He's human.
human?
Can I do like an insight check or perception check?
Medicine, maybe?
Yeah, if you're going to try and gauge his condition, I'd say medicine.
14.
I'm gonna say because you're a healer, you're gonna gain some extra insight into this. So you sit down next to this man and you, using the connection that you have with your God, which is the connection that you use to heal people, it's a connection of life. You reach out with this connection to try and calculate and analyze what is happening with this person, this man. And as you reach out, it's almost like a tangible feeling. There's something about him. It's not that he's dying, but there's this aura that he has. You've felt it once before. You felt it the last time you had a dream about your God. You felt it when you looked at that shadow, the long figure in the background. It's power. It's surreal.
Or
In a neutral way. It's how you feel when you're in the presence of something beyond the mortal coil. It's godliness. But it's slowly seeping away. It's just this warm, vibrant, golden feeling that is slowly dissipating. You still feel his life force. He's still there. And there's something very comforting about him, but whatever is affecting him, it's been this incredible strain on his body. This is what you're getting from your connection, that his body is just so strained. He's been through something. And it's just collapsing under the weight of that stress. You get the sense that he's not dying. He will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But this is maybe not the best location for him to recover in.
Okay. I think what we need to do is get him into a safe area where he can heal and rest and not be stressed out or under any kind of pressure. It may take him a while to heal, and I can spend some time with him and just be with him, and yeah. But I think we ought to get him out of here and find another place where we can take cover.
I'd like to take a look at these roots, though, if you don't mind.
See if we should pull them out.
They're like tree roots, so they're a little bit bigger than what you would. It's not like a dandelion that you can just pluck out. But anyone who is looking at the roots, make a nature check for me.
What about investigation? No.
No, this would be nature.
12.
22.
20.
All right. With your 12, unfortunately, Leaf, while nature is your domain, you have a limited range of what you are incredibly good at. But those things you are incredibly good at. You've never seen a root like this before, though. With your 22 and your 20, you're looking around at this root. You don't get much. It's definitely the same root that you saw earlier in Valara's hand that got buried at the front of the temple. It's the exact same soft, almost pleather, soft white root with the brown striations on it, and the little new growths. And it looks like it might still be growing. But this was just an explosion of growth.
Goodness.
Now, can I ask a question? Who was it that saw in the Toyland place? Might have nothing to do, but I just have a question. Who was it that saw the man and the tiefling woman?
That was Daisy.
Daisy.
No, it was Valara.
Oh no, it was Valara. That's right.
Valara.
After your passing speech.
Did she tell us about that, or would she have told us about that?
That's up to Valara. Would you have told them about that split-second battlefield image that you saw before you left the Toyland?
I don't think I would have, no.
Crud, Valara. Because as a player, I would love to know something, but I guess I can't ask you.
Well, if he looks like the image.
Sorry,
it was a human man and a tiefling woman, and I would wonder if the man looked like this man. But I didn't know that as a player.
Well, Valara would recognize him.
Right.
Do I recognize him?
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing to do with it.
All right. Well, let's get him to safety. Can we hoist him on your back, Valara?
Yes, you may. And I kneel down as close as I can to him to make it easy to roll him on.
All right. With everyone's help, you've easily managed to lay him over the side, draped just like a sack of flour.
Oh.
He's still breathing.
Do we see any gods, the lady with no name, the grandma with no name? Do we see anyone left?
As you leave the temple, you send one last glance up into the heavens and you see that it's dark. You do not see the woman in that second room, and you don't see the child out on the steps.
Which plane are we in now? Are we in the one that we woke up in with the river, the black icy river?
Yep, you're still there.
Plane of penitence.
Okay. Perhaps we should try to go back the way we came and go back to the inn by the river.
All right. You step out of the temple and look back over your shoulder, and anyone that looks back at the temple sees that it is now completely overrun by this giant white root that is still growing. And as you're getting some pieces away from it, you see one of the roots get so heavy that a wall collapses underneath it, and it continues to grow. It's overrunning this entire temple and just burying it under its weight.
I would like to send a message through the scrying glass back to Deppin.
Sure. You open the glass up, and he had told you just think of me, and it'll work. So you open it up, and you think of Deppin, and swimming into focus on the glass surface is his little face, and he has his tiny little glasses on, and he's looking down at something on his desk and going, "Oh, that's very interesting. Oh my goodness."
Deppin.
Yeah. So, hello. Is this thing on?
So
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, good. I'm glad that you can hear me. How'd it go?
Kind of terribly, but I wanted to let you know that the Temple of Seert is now being essentially overrun by a giant white root of some sort. We're not exactly what kind of a root, but we were given a root by someone, and she said we needed to plant this root next to the Temple of Seert to help us get back to the land of the living. And so we did once we got to the temple, and then once we got into the temple and into the room where Seert was, these roots grew all over, and now the temple is completely shattered.
There was an old lady.
Yes.
An old lady?
Yes, and
she stole Seert's robe.
Yeah, she seemed to be rather elated that the roots caused the temple to collapse, and seemed to gain some sort of sense of power from this.
I think she was a lady who gave Valara the root, is my guess, and the root was a favor to her, actually, from what Valara told me. It was actually that the mugwort was to help one of the things we needed to get back to life, but the planting the root wasn't supposed to help us. It was just the favor in exchange for the mugwort.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, this is...
And now we have this man who seems to need urgent help.
You have a man with you?
It's Seert. I mean, it's the
Oh,
man.
it,
He was wearing the robe,
Oh.
and then
Oh,
he got
oh
knocked
no.
out of the robe, and now the
Oh.
old lady's in the robe, and
Oh.
he is unconscious.
This is really bad. So okay, we maybe should have given you a little bit more information. We really just needed someone to go and say hi and make sure he was alive. But it sounds like okay.
That's what we intended to do.
I know. Don't worry. I'm gonna go talk to Hagon, and he picks up whatever he's talking to you on and starts to move, and you can see the hallways going by behind him as he gets into an elevator. He says, I have to go talk to Sir Jovan, but Seert is a title. So the godhood is passed to different people depending on, usually it's like heroes or people with a really good heart because they have to judge, or it's a criminal and someone who is going to have to suffer centuries judging people and essentially, I guess, forcing him to be a good person. I'm not good at describing it, but the last man who had the title of Seert was a really good man. His name was Levon. I don't know too much about him. I saw him. He came here. I was his friend.
is this him? Daisy's gonna grab the scrying glass and show.
I'll turn it
man
around on him.
Oh no, that's Levon. Is he okay?
Is not well.
He's
He's not-
injured.
But he is alive, so
Okay. Listen, I gotta go because I have to go talk to Sir Jovan about this. This is really bad. I think that okay, at the temple you're supposed to be judged by the cycle of life. You know, the child, the adult, and then the elder. But if the elder took over, then it's not the woman it was supposed to be. Okay, so I gotta go talk to Sir Jovan. This is really bad. It means that the title went to someone that doesn't deserve it, and I don't know what that means. So I gotta go. Okay, come meet me back at the bureau. Please bring Levon. Make sure he's okay, please. He was really nice to me.
We'll start heading back towards the bureau. We'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you guys. Thanks. And he shuts whatever he has on his end.
I'm starting to think that maybe we've made a mistake.
yes, I think perhaps we shouldn't have buried that root.
Valara, who was that woman you spoke to again?
She said her name was Neve.
Yeah.
And she showed me who my best friend was. In my before life, his face is one of the only I can remember. And with a natural one roll, there was not much I could do to resist.
She was
Well, that
very
sounds really
charming.
meta. But I mean, I understand sometimes it's a lot. Just in general.
Before we head out, I'm gonna walk around the ruins just to see if the real old lady is around.
Okay. You do a lap around the building and a little bit of a jog, and you have to dodge places where the root has come out of the ground. It's broken through some rock. It's somehow an incredibly strong root. And on the back side of the temple, you see what Leaf had seen earlier. You see a hole that's been blasted in the back of the temple, and sitting in the rubble is a figure. And when you get closer, you see this old woman. She's much different than the old woman that you had been talking to in the temple. She has her hair, her snow white hair, soft and curly in a big bun over her head. She looks like she's an elf of some kind, maybe a wood elf. She's covered in dust, and there's just a trickle of blood on the side of her head.
Is she breathing?
You go over to check, and you have to move some rocks aside. And she's not breathing. There are massive boulders sitting on top of her from the blast.
Everybody. Well, avert your eyes if you're a little one, but I found the real elder. Apparently she's no longer with us. Looks like she was attacked by the imposter, and they blew that hole in the side. It's from that lady, and this one is now passed.
Wait, is that the hole that we saw?
Yeah, I think so.
Leaf, you recognize it. It's the hole that you saw.
Oh, I saw that hole. I thought it was just a regular hole, not a blasted thing. Something that was blasted through.
We didn't know.
And the woman is like, she's like crushed. She's like dead.
Listen, you're an elf. Would you like to say anything over the body or do anything that elves do?
Sure, I can offer a blessing.
What does that look like?
I walk over to her and I slowly take out some herbs from my little necklace satchel, and I take them into my hands and start to rub them into my hands. And I close my eyes. I say, to the God who governs over the soul of this dear soul here, we ask that you lift this angelic being into your light. We ask that you take every part of her back with you, that she be absolved into pure light, that her legacy be protected on this plane, and that any transgressions that she may have committed against another or others against her be dissolved, be forgiven. And then I sprinkle the herbs over her, and I walk away.
Okay, beautiful. So nothing physically happens. Through your innate connection to life, you feel it's so faint you might have mistaken it. Just a soft sigh of relief. So quiet. And you can make your way back through the forest. You stop in the same place. I'm going to say, Alyssum, you probably monitor Levon through his sleep. You all get a long rest. If you'd like to take a long rest now, nothing happens. Quiet day. Again, there's no birdsong here. There's no crickets. There's no ambient noise at all except for the rushing of the river. And you get back next to the river, and you're walking along it, and it feels so cold. There's just this bank of cold air coming from it. And normally in the Plains of Penitence, everything is very neutral. It's like half of your senses have been turned off. You don't feel hot or cold. You don't feel hungry. You don't feel tired. You don't hear things. But here, near the river, it is cold. And you get back into town, and there's some people milling about. It looks pretty similar to the day before when you had been here. And you can pass around through the market to get back up to the bureau. You hear people whispering. You think maybe word has spread. But you head back to the bureau, and you get into that front doorway that is an elevator. And you can press whichever floor you'd like.
3rd floor, right, for Deppin?
Or was it 5th?
5th floor, 3rd on the right?
Yeah.
Yes.
5th
You do
floor.
remember, yeah.
And
5th floor, 3rd on the right.
We should probably let him know that we found the real elder, and that the old woman was a different old woman than we thought.
We should. Let's tell him. So we go up the elevator.
Okay. You go up to the 5th floor. I'm going to say quickly, you go to Deppin's office, and he's not there. and you knock on the door of the next office, and you see this orc woman come to the door, and she says, "Yes, I'm sorry." And she tells you when you ask where Devin is that he's gone to the 10th floor to go and see Sir Face Jovan, and that you should hurry because she heard about what happened. You should definitely get leave on there as well. So you head back into the elevator. You go up to the 10th floor, and you're back in that room where the elevator comes through the center of the floor. It's a circular room. There are doors all over, but there's one open off to the right, and that's the one that you had gone through before with Deppin. And inside that open doorway, you see Sir Pace Jovan's desk. You see his massive windows that each show a different scene, a tundra, a jungle. They sort of shift sometimes when you're not looking. And his high bookcases that cover the walls. And he looks, Jovan is behind his desk and he looks distraught. His hair is not as neat as it was before, and his long beard is being crunched in his hands like a stress. A little relief of stress. And he says, oh, come in. Yes. And you see Deppin on a little stool next to the desk, looking nervous as hell, very jittery. And Jovan points you to different seats around the room that you can take if you like. And he stands up and looks to Valara, who has leaves on her back. And he comes around the desk and he says, please, I'll take him. And he slips the body off of your back as if it weighs nothing. And he brings it over to a fainting couch off to the side. And he lays him down, kneels by him, says a few words, and comes back to the desk. Please, if one of you could tell me what happened.
Well, Valara met this woman who she was very charmed by, who so when we got to the Temple of Seert, we ended up being turned into dolls and toys, and then eventually we got to go in the temple, and then Valara planted this root that she was asked to plant by this charming woman, and then we went inside, and then there was the man who was up rearranging the stars basically, and then we called him down, and in that moment the roots overtook the temple, and we met an older woman, and then she like sent this light and knocked him down and then took his robe and disappeared. Is that about right?
And she's different. Then we found another old woman who
In the rubble.
who was different than the old woman who took the robe. So we're starting to think that the one that took the robe might be a fake.
We think it's the same woman who gave us the root, probably in disguise, shape-shifting,
Very bewitching.
Did you get a name?
Neve.
Well,
Eve was the woman who talked to her. She told us to call her grandma.
When you say the name Neve, you see a shadow pass over his face. The expression doesn't change, but there's recognition. He sits back down in his chair, and for the first time in a while, you see his age hit him like a ton of bricks. And he leans back and says, a few explanations are in order. Seert, as Deppin told you, is a title. It is not one person. It has been many. And it is passed on through centuries. It's a title of honor or repentance. And traditionally in Seert's temple, there are 3 beings. They often change depending on who they meet. They're called the Haiga. They are a trio of demigods. They test and judge the people that go into Seert's temple to see if they are worthy. And if one of the Haiga is dead. That is a tragedy that must be rectified.
So I think perhaps the other woman, the elder that was buried in the rubble, was she one of the Higer?
Yes.
The child, the elder, adult, and the elder. The elder seems to have passed.
It's the path of life. They are supernatural beings that embody the path of life, childhood, adulthood, and old age. You are tested on the path of life, as you are tested in the temple. What you saw, if you saw Seert floating in the sky and moving stars around, is that what you said?
Look, to me, it was souls.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was Seert sitting on his throne, judging souls. That is Seert's main purpose. Seert looks into a soul and weighs it and judges where it will go. If it comes here, if it goes to Avernus or elsewhere. If someone else has taken his place, that does not bode well.
Well, what do we need to do then? How do we fix this?
For once, I don't know. I will need to do some research. An event of this magnitude has never happened before. No one unworthy has ever taken on the mantle of Seert. It's never happened. And I still don't know why your names are in that book. I'm sorry, I didn't get very far in my research on that. Okay. We will keep Levon here. We will nurse him back to health. And I hope that when Levon comes to, we will have more answers. In the meantime, I must speak to some friends. They must know what has occurred. Do not say the name anywhere else.
What
All
name?
right, this Neve. This stays between us. It does not leave this room. I do not need errant panic in this city.
All right, well, should we go back to the inn? Is that what the best plan is at this point?
Yes. I will call for you when I have answers. Thank you, and I'm sorry that you've been dragged into this.
All right.
He stands up and goes over to Levon.
All right, shall we go then, everyone?
I just want to ask, where might we be best to help Levon recover?
We have a medical wing. Well, medical wing. We don't really have any sort of use for that here, but it is a place that is not used often that we can give him to recover.
We stay in here.
Would you like to stay with him?
To recover the other body from the rubble? What was her name?
Well, the Haiga don't really have any names. They are beings that are beyond our plane of existence. They're demigods. They are collectively, at the same time, 3 separate beings and 1 being.
So should we leave the body there?
No, I will send people to go investigate and give her a proper burial. Honestly, people don't die in death. I don't know how this happened.
Well, I feel like having some comfort food. Do you have anything that resembles macaroni and cheese?
Unfortunately not. I'll see what I can scrounge up.
I'm not hungry, I just need to eat. It'll make me feel better.
Okay. He opens his own little scrying glass and calls for some people. And some people come up into his room with a stretcher and some bread, which is the closest they can do. And they pass this loaf of bread off to you.
Thank you.
And they pull him onto the stretcher, Levon, and they take him out the doorway. And you can follow if you'd like. They end up taking them to the 7th floor. And the 7th floor is this big, wide open wing. It looks like essentially office space that isn't being used, but it's an old office. And there's a bed made off to the left side of the room. It's got nice like parquet floors and big windows that just show the outside of the city. And they lay him down. They have a little curtain that they draw around the bed, and they set up. People are going back and forth from the room, and they're setting up like fainting couches and other places for you to either sleep or sit while you're here. And Devin comes down with you.
As this is happening, I kind of want to do an insight check on Sir Pace Jovan to know like what his role is in all this. Like, is he
His role is
pretending to act like he cares about Seert and that he's really concerned, or like, can I tell if he's sincerely, deeply troubled and a good person?
Or yeah, roll an insight check.
Well, it's a 2. So
He's really hard to read.
okay.
But from what you can tell, the concern in his voice is sincere, and this is a man that comes off as very knowledgeable. Like, if he was to come into a situation, he would de facto be the leader because he just has so much experience, but this hasn't settled him.
Okay, well then while we are sitting around lounging on the fainting couches, I tell everyone, by the way, when I was talking with the soldier and the ballerina, I saw this interesting vision of a human man and a tiefling woman surrounded by battle, and they looked like they were very much in love, and there was lots of sparks and smoke everywhere. They were on a hill of a battlefield, and I don't know what this means. Has anyone else been having spontaneous visions?
I mean, the only one I had was of my son, but that was, you know, what would have been yesterday, if there was a yesterday.
Right, very confusing.
Was that the battle? Maybe that was the battle they were all talking about, all these stories, Battle of Colne Hill. Does that have anything? Should we ask them if that battle has anything to do with any of this?
Might as well. We are among smart people.
Yeah. Is there anyone? Is someone get that scrying out and ask the little fella?
Well, Devin's right next to you guys. He's in the room as well.
Too. Yeah.
Devin, did you just hear everything that was said? Does that battle have anything in importance in this world plane?
Well, I mean, yeah, I heard. People tend to forget I'm here. It's fine. I understand.
Sorry, lad.
I mean, I've heard of Colm Hill, but it's just a battle, you know? It happened a long time ago. I mean, everybody learns about it in school. I feel like.
What was the battle about, or what were they fighting over?
And do they know anything about like a tiefling, like what Valora was saying, a tiefling lady and a human man, and
No, I mean, I don't really know. I just know it was a battle. I wasn't paying attention at school.
Is there a library we could go to and just poke around?
Sure. If you go 1 floor down, there's a big library. Just make sure you don't open the door with the chains on it because that goes to a different dimension. It's really bad. I went there once and it made me feel like all stuffed up and awful. And then,
Open door with chains?
yeah. I mean, it's locked for a reason, so, you know.
Do I remember anything from right before? No, we still don't remember anything from right before. Like if we saw tapestries or drawings before, we don't remember that.
There is that image of the figure floating with the robe and the 4 arms and the skull, the horse skull for a head. it sort of seems familiar to a couple of you, but you can't place why or where.
Yeah. Right.
All right, ladies. On that note, we're gonna end episode 2.
Oh my goodness. What is happening?
Thank you for watching, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. We're Girls Guts Glory. Check us out, our website. We're here Wednesdays at 10 a.m.
And can they find like our social media handles?
Yeah, all our
Social
handles are
media
right
handles
here.
are right here.
Woohoo!
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
What's happening?